Hello, lovely co-creators. Welcome back to my studio for part 2 of Wood in a Wood. Yes, I know I've got a bad cold and I'm speaking through my nose, but I will try to speak more clearly and more slowly because I was told that I speak too fast and that I blather too much. I've got to stay focused. That's what I was told, so I'll try. So we're here to talk about the thinking behind the painting in the dome and the techniques. So the first thinking was if I want to be sure that the painting is as harmonious as possible, then I need to use a restricted palette, meaning that I need to make as many of the colours myself from as few colours as possible. Now, I thought that I'd be painting the trompe-l'oeil in the colours that were there when I was there. However, Nathalie said that she wanted the 4 seasons. So immediately my mind went to cold light, cool light, as in winter and spring, obviously. So cool colours, cool greens, compared to warm light, so warm greens and warm tones in the summer section and the autumn section, obviously. Now, I know that most people think that in order to make your own colours, you need the primary colours, red, blue and yellow. Well, you do. But not everybody knows that in the yellow category, for example, you have warm yellows and cool yellows. Same in the red category, same in the blue category. So depending on the yellow you use and depending on the blue you use, depending on whether your paint's transparent or opaque, you're going to get different colours. So the lemon yellow, for example, that's your cool yellow, and the cadmium yellow, that's your warm yellow. And the blue that works with everything is your cyan blue, that's the primary blue. Now, another colour that's very useful for a restricted palette for greens with a cyan blue is orange, cadmium orange. So that basically was my palette when I went to paint the dome, or colours as close as I could get to them, because obviously the surface being what it was quite a large surface to cover. So I opted for house paints as close to that warm yellow, because I wanted the summer section and the autumn section to be facing you as you went in. So your first impression and the biggest impression needed the most paint. So I got the warm yellow and a blue that wasn't a pure cyan, unfortunately. It had a bit of white in it. But these were house paints for bathrooms that could be painted on any surface, including PVC. So I thought that was a good choice. Right, so here I'm back again because I very rudely interrupted myself, and I went to look for a thing I prepared before I went to see Nathalie to show her how many colours you can make from a restricted palette just with one blue and orange and either black and white, or different yellows with the same blue, like this was the lemon yellow and the yellow ochre, with lots of white or a little white with a tiny touch of black or a bit more black. You get a wonderful range of greens and blues and browns and tans and creams and all sorts of gorgeous colours. Anyway, that was the paint side. And as for tools, well, you think painters paint with paintbrushes, right? Well, not always. I didn't want to put on a thick layer of paint on the surface, because given the weather conditions that are very different in winter and summer, I thought a thick layer may just fall off, this plastic sheeting that is covering the inside of the dome. So in order to avoid that, I thought the best solution would be to use sponges. So I did, because what you can do with sponges is magic, and that's what I'm going to do today. So I've got my natural sponge, and just as I did in the dome, I'm going to start off, I'm going to do light on one, warms on one side and cools on the other. So literally I just go into the paint with the sponge. So there's a really pale yellow. Now, being a pale colour, it's going to go back. So this is the pale yellow for the spring. And can you see these colours? No. You'll need to zoom in. So you've got to imagine, in my mind I'm thinking, these are trees way in the distance somewhere. I don't know where they are. And they're in a very cool yellow. We could maybe bring them up a bit, because remember, the dome is in a wood that's on a hill. So you actually walk up to the dome and the hill keeps going up. So you can actually raise this up higher, because all the land here is land that is going up. I'll get a bit of spring down here too. So that's for the cool yellow. Now a bit of the warm yellow. So again, just straight in with my cleaned my sponge out. It's still quite wet. And here we're going with the warm yellow. Can you see that difference? And can you see how the sponge makes the effect of what look like trees? Way in the background somewhere. Now obviously the further forward we come, the greener they're going to get. So we're going to start off with just a wee bit of blue. Tiny, oh, that's far too much. Now I'm still in my warm yellow here. And here I'm getting very green. It's really a bit too green for my liking. However, it's mixing in. And we're getting lights and darks because there are light bits on one side and darker bits. That's why on your palette you can have a bit more colour on one side than the other. You get that on your sponge, so you'll get variations. Yeah, lovely that is already. I love this effect. Obviously, because the green here and the green here have the same cyan blue in them, if I now use that same blue for the sky, I'm going to get harmony. And my battery's about to go. So what was I going on about then? Behind the trees here is going to be a very, very pale blue. So lots of white and a wee bit cyan. And then instead of using a sponge, I used a rag, bit of cloth. Now this blue, you can see when you rub it on, because it's the same blue in the green, this is where you're getting your harmony. You have to be careful. This is not dry yet, so it's going to be it's going to turn green if I go into the yellows. So I'm just going to leave it like that just now. But you can come back later and join them together once they've dried a bit. So that's more or less the blue that I used for the light well, and Natalie wanted the effect of light rays coming through the light well onto the wood. So I just literally just used the cloth to wipe the paint. I'll wipe it away and make white marks, which is a thing. You can add paint, you can also take paint away when it's wet. However, here we just want to make a continuous sky behind those trees. And then a bit of sponge work. I can produce the optical effect of the sky being behind those trees. Now, coming down the hill, you see these trees are in the distance. Now, which green is this? This is that's my summer green. They're all in the distance. These yellow trees are even further away. We don't know where they are. Oh, let's make it all into summer. So some of these trees that are further up the hill, we'll be able to see some of their trunks here and there. So you can actually look for, in the paint, you'll see lines appearing. And you're already beginning to see like some kind of mound, if that was the land. That could be some kind of mound going back into the trees there, but that's not what I want the mound to be down here. These are trees. Let's keep going down towards the dark colours downstairs. So let's start using orange so we can go quicker into earth colours. The orange with a bit of blue that makes a nice burnt sienna. Add more blue, you end up with like a nice burnt umber, really dark colour. Now because we're using the same blue, we're going to get harmony. We're also introducing an earthy colour, which obviously is going to be very appropriate down here, which is the closest to us where the earth is. So this is the orange, cadmium orange with the cyan. Now what if we had a wee bit more blue for one side, the cool side? And I think that's the secret, is just you constantly say to yourself, what if I did this, what if I did that, what would I get? And you're just playing with colours. I actually can't see what I'm doing. I'm just guessing. But you see, as I'm starting to fill in all these spaces, lines will start appearing like out of nowhere. Making a grey there. There's a line coming, there's another one, there's another one. And as soon as the brain sees a line in anything, it tries to work out what is that the edge of. And as soon as it gets a clue, then it immediately puts whatever that line is into a category. Well, obviously all this green, you're thinking vegetation. So as soon as you see a line, you're thinking tree, right? But I mean, there's no line there. But your mind will start to see things. And that's what's wonderful about this kind of painting, is that you're almost in abstraction, but at the same time it's figurative, because you are painting something real, like a forest. And I'm actually watching on the screen as I'm doing this at the moment, rather than looking at the painting. I don't know what I'm doing here, filling in the spaces, but I'm sure your mind is already starting to make decisions about what you're looking at, what you're seeing, which I haven't actually painted. I'm leading your eye to believe that there are things there. It'll pick them out. I'll see things that I can't see yet. I need to stand back from this, in fact, to get a better idea of what I'm doing. Now, the other thing is scale. You see, at this stage, how close are we as viewers to what we're looking at? This could be a bit of a garden somewhere, and you've zoomed right in, and we're starting to see flowers emerge, and these are perhaps big flowers in the back. This is perhaps the earth, and we could perhaps just draw a snail and a few lines to show that there are stems holding up the flowers. Pick out a few flowers here, look. This could be a bit of a garden. Or with a brush, we can start picking out with a darker colour lines that you can see in the vegetation that seems to be appearing somewhere, from somewhere. And the viewer's eye will decide what it's looking at. Right, so I've finished the painting, and I thought we could do the big reveal together. Well, it's just a demonstration, but I thought you might like to see what it's like without the tape. So here we go. Now, do you know that I think this purple tape is the best one? But if you've got tape that doesn't come off very easily, you know what the trick is? It's a hairdryer. Get your hairdryer. It heats up the glue on the tape, and the tape comes off. The other thing to do is, before you put your tape down, is you do this with your tape on your clothing before you stick your tape down, so it's not so sticky. There we go. And you're still here. Well, this is the end now, as you probably guessed. So thank you for watching this far, and as always, if you liked the video, thumbs up. If you didn't, away you go. Subscribe and leave a comment. Please leave a comment. I love reading your comments, and I'm curious. I'd like to know who you are. Where are you in the world, and why did you click on this video? Why did you just watch this demonstration? Hope to read you soon, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye just now. Bye. I think there was a problem with the sound with my microphone in the filming in the first part, and I've been fiddling about with my mic and then remembered that I actually have, look, I have this wee mic, but I don't know how to use it. So once I get that sorted out, then maybe I'll be able to do another demonstration, and so you can look forward to that. Bye, yet again, bye.